Save space. Community. Conversation. Connection. Save space. With your host, Sincerely Syreeta. Right now on Word Radio. 96.1 FM. And 900 AM WURD. Independent Black Media.
On nights like this I ride, turn the music up to keep from crying. Wait till that sunshine. Please don't let the darkness keep me low halfway to the home base, yeah. Like a field trip, whoa, it's a real trip. And over your head, it's a guilt trip, yeah. To the south side, wow, it's a real trip. It's not a quick trip. It stays with ya. Love that's aside. It's a real trip. On nights like this, I ride. Turn the music up to keep from crying. Wait till the sunshine. Please don't let the darkness keep me low halfway to the home base, yeah. Like a field trip, whoa, it's a real trip. I'm asking who can save me? You can't baby, you can't baby. Who can save me? You can't baby, you could baby. We'll be
hello, loves. You are tuned in to WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. This is Safe Space, and I'm your host, Sincerely Syreeta. Today is Thursday, August 12th, 2021, a perfect day to turn our intentions into action through conversation. And shout out to all the folks who are ready to do just that. Those of you who are tuned in on 96.1 FM and 900 AM, streaming the Word TV, on wordradio.com and Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch. I think I covered them all. And of course, everyone who's listening in crystal clear on the free Word app, which is available in the Apple app and Google Play stores. If you are tuned in over on Word TV via Facebook Live, go on ahead. Y'all know what to do. Tap the share button, start a watch party. Y'all know we're not just here to save space. We are perfectly okay. We're taking up and owning some too. In fact, I think that's our sweet spot. That's just right where we fit in life, right? Especially in these internet streets. Shout out to Kayla J, holding down the phone lines, the board, and everything in between. Kayla J, how are you, love?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I have no complaints. Happy, what is it? What do you call it? Friday Junior?
You know it's Friday Junior.
Okay, Friday Junior. I say Friday Eve, Friday Junior. Whatever, y'all, we almost at the end of the week, okay? We are almost there. I know for some of us, depending on work schedules and stuff, you might already be there. And to that, I say, so what? No, enjoy it. But yeah, we're almost at the end of the week. Kayla J, what's in store as we get ready to go into the weekend? What's in store for Kayla J's Gospel Hour this week?
Listen, Syreeta, we got good things. I'm bringing back another mental health conversation. We talking church and mental health, them things that the church said. That's just we gonna pray it out. So we're gonna talk about those things that we've tried to pray out, and it's really something that a professional needed to look at. So we're doing that this weekend. Also, there is a women's tea coming to Philadelphia for women who just feel like no one cares and no one loves them. So we're going to talk with Minister Roslyn Williams, who's going to come down to Philly and just love on those women. So it's going to be a good time.
Wait, we talking like a tea party?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let me lift my pinky.
Yeah.
All right. No, okay. Don't lift it too much. You're not, AKA we don't want no problems. Okay, we just to sit. Kayla, you play with with fire. You want anywho? Got a throwback Thursday question for you.
Okay.
Right? Because this past week it's had me thinking a lot about like this time last year. We were still kind of figuring out what the heck was going on with the pandemic and where was life headed next, like all of these different things. So I want to take it back to August 2020. And I'm curious to know, what would you tell yourself back then, right, to prepare yourself for the state of your life today?
Don't order DoorDash. Because you'll get addicted and you'll stop cooking and you'll just eat DoorDash.
Or maybe it's just to create a budget.
Nope. Because you'll get addicted and you'll stop eating correct food.
Okay.
Don't order DoorDash. Don't do it.
Okay. That's
because as long as it was just Uber Eats, it was fine. Because Uber Eats be expensive. So I didn't do it often.
So you did it sparingly. And then a whole new world.
Whole new world opened when DoorDash came.
That's real. That's real. Okay. All right. Loves, definitely want to hear from you. Think back to where you were at August 2020. August of 2020. Where were you at? What was happening in your life? Right. And if you could leave this moment just for a few seconds and go back and tell your past self anything to try to prepare them for what the state of your life is or would be today, what would you say to yourself? Call in, let me know. 215-634-8065. Again, 215-634-8065. You can also call in toll free, 866-361-0900. Again, 866-361-0900. Shout out to our Word, Facebook, social media fam, all of y'all always down to have the on-air conversation from online. Tia said she would tell herself, start now. Just start where you are and don't overthink it. Just start. Anthony said, hug your grandma one more time. Hug your grandma one more time. That's something that he would tell himself. And I'm trying to think. I know I saw another one, but I don't know where it went, so I'm not going to dwell on that too long. I'll just simply share mine. I would have to say, if I went back to August 2020, which that was already a crazy time in itself, I would tell myself to remember this. A delay is not a denial. A diagnosis is not a sole determinant, and a dream deferred only remains that if you accept it to be so. That's it. Again, a delay is not a denial. A diagnosis is not a sole determinant, and a dream deferred only remains that if you accept it to be the case, right? Accept it to be so. That's what I think would probably help me and carry me through a lot of this past year. And so I'm curious to hear from you. You know, if you can go back to August 2020, what would you tell yourself to carry you to August 2021? And even, you know, asking this question already has me thinking about August 2022 and like, oh my gosh, I can't even imagine. I'm praying all good things. I'm praying blessings on blessings on blessings, abundance, all of that. I know it's not the new year, right? This kind of question usually comes up around the new year, but we don't have to wait to get there. We can reflect now. We can think about that now, and carry that with us as we prepare to close out the last 4 or 5 months or so of 2021. Life is coming at us fast, y'all. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyhow, want to let you know a little bit about who and what we are saving space for today at 7:30. You know, it's tried or tried it. All right, Michaela J and I are going to discuss whether someone tried us this week or we tried something new, and asking you the same thing. Did you try something new or did someone try you this week? At 7:45, we got DJ Geek bringing us this week's Geekin' Mix. At 8 p.m., caregivers and seniors, please do listen up. Bryant Green, who is an administrator at Always Best Care Senior Services, is going to join us to provide some insight and education on non-medical in-home care and assisted living referral services. This was something that was definitely or has definitely been on my heart and you know, my radar, given y'all heard from Mom last night, given her diagnosis and brain surgery and all of that, and you know, just our family figuring out a home health plan, so that she is taken care of around the clock, needs nothing, don't have to lift a finger if she don't want to. That we're just all doing our best to take the best care of her. So I wanted to make sure that if we could, continue to get any kind of information, insight, or education to our Word family about caregivers or any kind of supportive services, that we continue to do that. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm living it, so I'm trying to pass along the wisdom, the resources, that anything that I can, while I have this platform and while I'm in this point in my journey. So I'm looking forward to Bryant Green at 8 p.m. and then at 8:30, one of my favorite Black woman-owned businesses has just selected one of my favorite people to be an ambassador of their brand, FBF Body. Y'all probably have already heard me talk about FBF before, but it's a shapewear and athleisure brand that has been featured on Good Morning America, The View, Forbes, Black Enterprise, you name it, the list is going to keep growing. But Brittany Mingo, who is a friend to the show, she is now an FBF ambassador. And in 2019, Brittany actually came on to the show I was hosting at that time, and was very transparent and vulnerable in sharing her story about one of the most pivotal decisions in her health and fitness journey, which was getting a vertical sleeve gastrectomy. VSG is what is more commonly known as. It's a surgery that helps with weight loss. And she just provided so much insight and education on it. We checked back in with her sometime after that. But now we're checking in again because we see new doors opening, excited for her. And so, we're going to talk a bit about that. So that is who and what we are saving space for today. Right now, I got to get ready to go to break, though. And y'all know we always have the headlines and stuff like that on deck and ready to share. And there are quite a bit of them. But we're going to take this break. The phone lines are open. It is Throwback Thursday. So do let me know if you can go back to August 2020 and give yourself some advice or some preparation for the state of your life right now in August 2021. What would you say? What advice would you give? Call in 215-634-8065 and toll free 866-361-0900. You're tuned into Safe Space on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. I'm your host, Sincerely Syreeta. It's 21 after the hour, and we'll be back after these messages.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. Maybe you're not sure how you'll make rent, or you lost your job. When you don't know where to turn, let 211 be your guiding light. Our guides are ready to connect you with the help you need.
211, how can I help you?
Call or visit 211.org. 211. Get connected. Get help. A message from United Way and the Ad Council.
Family Therapy Vignette Moments with Dr. Lucille Ijoy.
Don't hit your children. Don't spank them, smack them, snatch them. Don't sock them. It causes violence in the world. It pushes love out. Some people think that the child will still love them. Well, maybe they will and maybe they won't. What about the children who hit and whack? And then they're going to teach the precious generation. Don't hit my grandchild. Isn't that curious? They don't want you to hit the grandchild. I tell you, I have lost many friends about this philosophy, but I gained some friends too. I have written several books on this topic about hitting children. In fact, it is my mission statement for life. That's my mission statement. Don't hit your children. It causes violence in the world. It makes them angry. Don't hit your children. It causes violence in the world. Don't hit your children. It causes violence in the world.
This is not a fad for us. We will not resume our regular programming when things die down. We're not black to help our bottom line or because it's politically correct. We're not joining a fight. This has been our fight, our message, our people. Black lives have always mattered here. We are undeniably, indefatigably, unapologetically, permanently Black Talk Media. WURD.
Wayne Avenue Health Food, located at 5007 Wayne Avenue, has been in business for 29 years. Wayne Avenue Health Food is a one-stop shop for all of your quality vitamins, herbs, and information with exceptional, friendly, experienced service. Wayne Avenue Health Food is open 7 days a week and delivers in the Philadelphia area and ships all over the country. For more information, call 267-338-6488.
Save Space with Sincerely Syreeta. Sincerely Syreeta. Right now on Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD. Independent Black Media.
You better think about what you're trying to do to me. Think let your mind go, let yourself be free. Let's go way on, way back when. I didn't even know you couldn't have been too much more than 10. Just child, I ain't no psychiatrist, I ain't no doctor with degrees. But it don't take too much time to see what you're doing to me. You better think about what you're trying to do to me, yeah. Think, let your mind go, let yourself be free. Oh, freedom. You are back listening to Safe Space on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. Kayla J caught me having my moment. Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin. I'll let Kayla J lead the combo on why we playing Aretha and what's going on. We touched on it a little bit this week. You might have missed it, but
because Riri in theaters tonight.
There you
Simple as that.
There you have it. Okay, so I folks have been asking, is it in theaters only? Is there some way where you can watch it from home? Like,
nope, they got us. They got us. They said y'all got to bring your butts to the theaters. We gonna get your money.
In a pandemic?
I don't think they was expecting Delta, girl. I don't think they was expecting Delta. Because look, this would have been a big morale boost if Delta wasn't here. Kids about to go back to school. It's the end of the summer. Yeah, let's go watch Riri. Put these kids in school. Put the barbecue on.
No, she is not Riri. There is Rihanna. That's Riri.
No, first of all, Rihanna stole the name. Let's get it. Let me turn my camera on so you can see my face.
Of soul. Did you mute me?
Put some respect on Aretha's name. She is Riri. First of all, she was Riri before Rihanna was even thought about. Okay. So, put some respect. She was the original Riri. When you watch the movie, they're going to tell you that she was the original Riri. Rihanna come here high and dry all lately talking about, call me Riri. No, just because she's now also the Queen of Soul don't mean her nickname ain't Riri. I'm just...
She is always and will always be the Queen of Soul. I'm just saying, I don't want these youngest getting confused. Queen of Soul, period. Aretha.
The youngest need to know that she was the original Riri. Come on, I'm waiting for it.
Catch your neck. Okay? Catch your neck. And also, I'm not even going to do all this. I'm not going to, because you know what? We're having a private conversation in front of company, in front of family. And we can save this for another time. I'm not even doing this with you. I'm going to leave that there. Y'all, anywho, yes, respect. It comes out, well, I guess officially tomorrow, but screenings tonight or something? Kayla, you said
nah, it's open tonight. I know folks that got tickets to see it tonight.
We talking like 11 something that night, or we talking like 12 a.m. Friday morning?
Talking like the screening that I know my sister's at started 20 minutes ago.
Oh. Well, listen, if you are one of the folks who, you know, I don't know if it's appropriate to call it early access, but if you are seeing it tonight, just please try to keep the reviews basic. You know, like save it, give us a week or so to actually go see it ourselves. I know me personally, it don't matter to me. I'm gonna go see it. Oh, Malcolm said that. I was like, wait a minute. The Kayla J just typed that Aretha was the original Riri. That's what Malcolm said.
over on YouTube. Shout out to all the folks who are tuned in on YouTube. Yeah, for me, I don't care if folks give spoilers or not. If I want to see something, I'm gonna go see it and just experience it for myself. But I know a lot of folks do not play about spoilers. So I feel like it's only right to just remind folks that, if you could refrain, I don't know, maybe a week or so, give some folks or few days, I don't know, just to let people get out and see it if that's what they're going to do.
Or just wait till they put it on HBO, because some people not going to go because of COVID. Just saying.
I hope they're going to put it on HBO like ASAP, like sooner.
No, it's not. It's not. It's going to be at least 3 weeks, girl. They want people to go to the movies to see it, but I think Delta really kind of ruined that for this particular movie.
And I can see why. The only other option I can think of, if it has to be in theater, is, and I think they may still be doing this, but you can buy out a movie theater. I know my family did that at one point, and I want to say it was maybe like $100. And so you can buy it out, and then you bring the folks that you feel comfortable with to the movies, and y'all have your own room, own theater room. You buy your snacks and stuff, or for some of us who carry big bags, you do what you do, and you have a good time. So if that is still an option, which I think with a lot of the theaters, the major theaters, it is, that might be an option if you really don't feel comfortable going into a movie theater and sitting with folks you don't know, right? You might feel comfortable with your family, and if you got a big family, or maybe it's only 2 of y'all, but you like, I will buy out a whole movie theater before I sit next to somebody, that might be an option to consider. So you can check out whatever your favorite movie movie theater franchise is, and see if that's an option for them. Everybody pitch in if that's what it's going to be, or somebody treat, and y'all get y'all tickets and go and enjoy yourself. Because one thing I do hope is that, we show up in general, not necessarily in the theaters, because if that's not what works for you, by all means, do not risk your health. But that we show up and out for this, because I really do think it's going to be a great film. I think it's going to be a great film. Like, the lineup, the cast is just, I don't see this flopping at all. Me personally, I don't know. Kayla J, what about you?
Nah, this a blockbuster hit.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. All right, so anywho, moving along, it is Throwback Thursday. If you're just tuning in, I'll run the question back for you real quick. And running it back, we're going to also run it back again to August 2020. All right, this time last year. Curious to know, what would you tell yourself to try to prepare for whatever the state of your life is right now in August 2021? What would you tell yourself? Call in 215-634-8065 or toll free 866-361-0900. Y'all know I'll be deep and reflective and like contemplative sometimes and all that kind of stuff, most times. So here we are. Anywho, let's go to Hembe on line 1. Hey, Brother Hembe, how are you? Thanks so much for choosing to save space with us today. And what's your response, or what's on your mind?
I'm doing great. Love and honor to you, my dear sister. And I just want to let you know that Kayla J held it down when you were out. So if you ever want to take your time, don't worry about it. We got some perfect person to fill in.
I will keep that in mind.
And I wanted to ask her if there's any update about the guy who was driving around stealing plants. Is there any updates, Kayla J?
No, I haven't heard of an update about the plant thief yet. I don't know. They might have caught him.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. But what I wanted to say is that when they decided to make a movie about, I knew right away Jennifer Aniston would be the perfect person to play that role for the Queen of Soul. I knew right away. She's gonna do a great job. From the preview, I think she needs an Oscar. She's gotta get an Oscar for that performance. Definitely, yeah. She's really done. But what I want to talk about is that there's another a rising star in Congress. Her name is Cori Bush. That really doing a great job, and she's not getting a lot of recognition. She's the one that pretty much held the infrastructure bill until there's a human infrastructure bill in it. And she's also the one who campaign to get the eviction notice extended so people will not get evicted. So that's something that she's been doing quietly. So, but she doesn't get a lot of credit. Nothing against OOC, but a lot of people talk about Alexandria Cortez. But Cody Bush is a rising star who's going to be a strong progressive moving forward. And regarding to your question, I'll probably just build me an office, because when the pandemic hit, I had to work from home, and it was hard to get any office equipment, chairs, anything. It was just very hard to get them. So I'll probably just, from now on, I just build me an office in my home and, work from home a lot of times. But, but that's a good question. That's the only thing I can think of right now. But thank you, and welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Brother Hembe. And yeah, I think you definitely raise a point there. Like with so many folks that I know, the pandemic and working from home or virtual, whatever that may have been for you, school, etc. It changed a lot. It changed the way that we viewed our homes and the spaces within it. At least from what I've seen, and speaking for myself on this one, it's definitely enabled me to kind of look at the space and rethink what I actually want and need it to be, right? Even in terms of mental, emotional, spiritual energy, stuff like that, to really think about, like, what does this space need to be for me? And the word that continuously came back to me was sacred. I needed to be sacred. I needed to be peace. Whether I'm working or decompressing, or just enjoying my family, enjoying my time, whatever it may be, it has to work for all of me, right? As much as I can make that, whatever the space is that I have right now, make that work for all of me, then I'm a step closer to joy, right? To the joy that I'm seeking in my personal life and want to see grow. So Hembe, I appreciate that. And Loves, if you've experienced that as well, maybe like renovating or changing areas in your home, feel free to call in and let us know a bit about what that process was like, and any kind of impact that it may have had on your workflow, right? On productivity, on your overall like mental health or physical wellness, any of that. You can call in 215-634-8065 or toll free 866-361-0900. Let's go to Brother Tyrone on line 2. Hey, Brother Tyrone, first and foremost, of course, how are you? Thank you for saving space with us today. What's on your mind?
Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings and peace and grace to you. It is so good to hear your voice, because as you know, you and Killer J, y'all are a sympathy to, I'm telling you, to the essence of my soul. And I love the both of you. And sis, I love the opportunity to share when you put me in a good space. You already, I didn't think you could top putting me in a good space, talking about our childhood, that childhood day when I talked about going to my little spot with the jukebox, and hey, I didn't think you can top it. 2020 was just such an extraordinary time. I was thinking about how, your mama, your papa, your son, daughter, grandmother would be in the hospital and you couldn't even see them. And then if they passed, you couldn't even view them. I mean, that was a wow. I'm telling you, it was just a deep situation. But my sis, God has put me in such a special place. My 2020 was, and please, ladies and gentlemen, don't think I'm selfish with this, because I know a lot of folks lost their loved ones. But I was the only car on the street. I was the only car on 76. I was the only car on 95. And it just felt kind of special that I'm riding up and down the highway every day and night and being the only car out there. That was extraordinary. And I even remember when they lifted the travel ban on that Friday. And this I'm closing with. I just knew that what we experienced with the pandemic, that folks would be different. But that day that they lifted that travel ban and everybody was on the street, people was more hellish than you can imagine. And all I can say is, well, God, what, they're not heeding the warning that you have given them, because it was unbelievable. The first day, and it was a Friday, I will never forget it. People was so terrible on the, with the traffic, because I guess it's their first day out, the first day of traffic.
Right. Back and moving around and all of that.
Oh, man. And you know what? It was terrible. When people got to wait because of the lines, and the cussing and the fussing and the, thank God they wasn't shooting that day. That was one day they didn't shoot. But it turned around that now when things go haywire in traffic, they even start shooting for no reason at all, just because they're impatient and can't wait. So, sis, I love you, and I thank you for always putting me in a special place. And I just thank God that He allows me to be there. Love you.
Yeah. No, listen, y'all know we love Word Fam through and through, and that's one thing. I remember us having these conversations on air during the pandemic, right? And like just trying to prepare ourselves mentally, emotionally, etc., for when the world reopens, and what kind of practices, whether it's self-care or spiritual or whatever, we wanted to make sure we carried with us when the world reopened. And I'm curious to know. I'll save that question for another day. But what practices that we either kind of dove deeper into or newly developed in the pandemic did we continue on once the world reopened? Because we're still in a pandemic, y'all. But yeah, I think for a lot of folks, it was just like, all right, back to business as usual, back to life as usual. Which in some ways it's I see it as being, necessary, and like giving a different pace, getting back to some sense of a pace. At the same time, at what cost? I hope we don't find ourselves losing some of the best parts of what we learned or could have learned from an experience like that. For many of us, what was a once in a lifetime experience. I just hope we don't ever forget what it truly meant to live through this time period, and what it could have potentially and still could potentially do in terms of making us better human beings, right? So yeah, anywho, I know we got to get ready to go to break and get to our Geek and Mix. Kelly J, real quick, I got to ask you, because I've been itching to know. Did you try something new, or did someone try you this week?
I did try something new this week.
What you try?
So I tried hemp seed oil body wash.
Ooh, how was that?
It made my bones feel good.
That is a heck of a description. It made my bones feel good.
That's why I tried it. I'm not going to tell you where I got it from. Tell you on the back end where I got it from.
Okay.
Because it's not a traditional place.
Oh, okay.
But I got it because I was like, oh.
Curious.
Huh?
I said, you got me curious, but you got everybody curious now.
I know, but people don't need to be in my business like that.
Tabitha Brown would say, that's my business.
That's my business. But now I tried it. It's good. The smell was different at first. So I was like, all right. Because I was using the body wash along with my shea butter soap. And I said, I think this is a job for Dove. That and Dove, because it's hot in these streets. So I wasn't trying to be offensive.
Oof.
But I like it. Okay. I like it. It's rejuvenating. My legs look all spicy. But nobody would know. Yeah. Nobody would know that but me because I don't wear shorts. I'm just saying I like it.
It's hot outside. Please stay hydrated. I'll just leave that at that. Stay hydrated, stay moisturized, and keep your bones relaxed.
That's right. It's about the bones in these streets.
The bones in these. Anywho, all right, we're taking a break. When we come back on the other side, we are getting straight into this week's Geek and Mix. Shout out to the one and only DJ Geek, bringing us some good vibes on my first week back from being out taking care of Mama. It felt so good to be back here doing what we do, how we do it is only we can do it. So stay tuned to Safe Space on WURD. Oh man, Progressive Black Talk Media. That's who we are. That's what we do. It is 45 minutes after the 7 p.m. hour. I'm your host, sincerely, Syreeta. We'll be back after these messages.
You know that feeling? Like every door is closing and you just can't see a way out? Being unemployed, underemployed, or just out of school can feel like that. But when you find the right tools, suddenly everything just clicks. FindSomethingNew.org offers resources that help develop new skills that can position you for careers in today's growing industries, from healthcare and manufacturing to cybersecurity and alternative energy. Find your path to a new career at FindSomethingNew.org. A message from the Ad Council.
I would like to play a little tune I just composed not so long ago.
Hey family, do you like hearing the best jazz selections aired by 3 of the best jazz announcers in Philadelphia? Well, tune in to 96.1 FM, and 900 AM, WURD Radio, independent black media for Freedom Sounds of Jazz.
Freedom Sounds of Jazz.
Hear Freedom Sounds of Jazz 10 p.m. Fridays with your hosts in rotation, Aquila, Jonathan Bay, and David Fritz. That's 10 p.m. Friday nights on WURD 96.1 FM and 900 AM, independent black media.
The Word Radio newsletter, keeping you informed, engaged, and connected. Sign up by visiting wordradio.com. Scroll to the bottom of the page and type your email address under Connect with Us. You'll receive the latest information on Word Radio. Messages from our president and CEO, Sarah Lomax Reese. Exclusive articles and multimedia content and resources. Stay informed with the Word Radio newsletter. Save Space with Sincerely Syreeta. Right now on Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD. Independent Black Media.
You are now rocking with DJ Geek.
Nothing's better. Oh, yeah. Nothing's better. Nothing's better. Ooh, yeah. They say a good one is hard to find. I got a good one and he's so fine. So I'll do whatever it takes, yeah, to keep him here with me. Cause how he loved me, touched me, kissed me, loved me. It ain't a man that I know who close. He stands in the lane of his own, yeah. When you touch me, nothing else compares. I can't wait for you to take me there. Nothing's better, nothing's better, nothing's better. change, 'cause what you give me can't be replaced, no. How you love me, touch me, kiss me, love me. It's like I'm living in Wonderland. Forever you go and you forever my man. When you touch me, nothing else compares. I can't wait for you to take me there. Nothing's better, nothing's better, nothing's better, nothing's better. No one makes me feel the way you do. What we got between me and you. Nothing's better, nothing's better, nothing's better, nothing's better. Hey, yeah. Your love takes me higher than I have been before, yeah. Oh, you're giving me so much that I don't need it anymore. Hey, baby, please don't change loving me this way. You can't be replaced, yeah. When you touch me, nothing else compares. I can't wait for you to take me there. Nothing's better, nothing's better, nothing's better, nothing's better. No one makes me feel the way you do. What we got between me and you. Nothing's better, nothing's better, nothing's better, nothing's better. When you touch me, nothing else compares. I can't wait for you to take me there. Nothing's better, nothing's better, nothing's better, nothing's better. No one makes me feel the way you do. What we got between me and you. Nothing's better, nothing's better, nothing's better, nothing's better.
I'm gonna lose this game. I've got no hope to face. I'm not designed for this. If I could speak in code, how would it be so bold? I can't control my lips. I've never been so on. I tend to be too loud, but I'm not ashamed of my words. Clearly, I'm going and I'm going into the deep end, far over my head. It's so unfair. I'm going and it's showing all over my skin. Everyone knows, gone and it shows, but I don't care. How do you make me smile? Simply by telling the time. You got those endless eyes. I could just stare all day, lay there and melt away. I'm such a helpless case. I've done away with my pride. They say I'm out of my mind. Can't even say it's a lie. Clearly I'm going and I'm going into the deep end, far over my head. It's so unfair. I'm going and it's showing all over my skin. Everyone knows, gone and it shows, but I don't care. Going into the deep end, into the deep end.
All this trouble in this here town, all it going down. When will they focus on this? Streets fired up with the TV crews. Look my way on the news, but they didn't notice before this. They float about the city lights, forget the truth, inhale the lies. Just enjoy the show. They see us reaching for the sky, just in order to survive. Maybe we should go to the penthouse floor.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Go to the penthouse floor.
Let's go, let's go.
Oh, let's go. Let's ride the elevator. They can't keep us out no more. Go to the penthouse floor.
Let's go, let's go.
Penthouse floor. nearly all that wine. Oh man, look at the times. Didn't they notice? Only future I can see ain't what it used to be. And I didn't know this. Once you're about the city lights, won't wanna spend another night down there on your own. The whole world on display for us. The altitude is dangerous, but we ain't going home. Going to the penthouse floor. Go to the penthouse floor. Oh, let's go. Let's ride the elevator. It's what we've been waiting for. Can't keep us out no more. Penthouse floor.
I heard this whole joke once. It was like, knock, knock. Who there? It's us. Us who? Just us. Who this? Just playing. Just me. New phone. New hair. New era. I'm in the penthouse, baby. Handpicked from bad apples and bad eggs. Held back, I had to grab legs. And then there were only but a few conversations held with patience, with a party, with a view, with a dress, with a song, what a beautiful time. My folks downstairs still waiting in line. They never been in these rooms, never stayed with these folks. Never laughed at the news, never hated these jokes. So as I fly in my suit, in a group, undercover, forcing a new smile, he tells me another. He said, what happened to the boy that climbed up the trunk? Then he pushed me off the top and said, jump, jump.
Ooh, don't bring me down. I need a room up in the clouds. I wanna get the pain. I wanna have the vein. Ooh, my favorite mix.
Shout out to DJ Geek serving up this week's Geek and Mix. Hope you enjoyed those vibes. Please be sure to follow her on Instagram at DJ Geek. That's Geek with 3s, not E's. You can also check her out, mixcloud.com/DJ Geek, to hear her full mixes. Real quick, before we get ready to go to break, just want to remind you that you are invited to join us for the Summer of Freedom Neighborhood Love Tour. We're celebrating West Oak Lane, Mantua, Northwest, and South Philly this year. Shout out to Tiffany Bacon, who has been broadcasting live from a different neighborhood each Friday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. The next stop is North Philly at the MLK Rec Center. It's located at 2101 Cecil B. Moore Avenue. That's going down tomorrow from 10 a.m. to noon. Again, that is tomorrow from 10 a.m. to noon. So please make sure you pull up so you can pick up voter registration information. You can meet some special guests and stand with Word. You know, if you haven't started or renewed your Forward membership, you definitely can do that on site, especially when it comes to our new digital Forward membership that starts at $5, right? Something simple that you can, you know, just take part in passing the power forward. And so with that, taking this quick break, you're tuned in to Save Space. I'm your host, sincerely, Syreeta. We'll be back after these messages.
I've done everything to stay healthy and protect my unborn child during COVID. The way I see it, getting vaccinated is one less risk to me and my baby's health, for now and the future. Plus, free vaccines are available in my neighborhood. You don't even need an appointment. Just walk in. You have the power to finish this.
Visit pa.gov/COVID for more information. Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
The Black Words Book Club. Word Radio's conversation on books that explore the African American experience through social, economic, and environmental justice issues. Tune in the second Tuesday of every month on Evening Words with Nick Taliaferro, 4 p.m. till 7 p.m. The Black Words book for September is Race Against Time, The Politics of a Darkening America by Keith Boykin. Be sure to listen live as Nick Taliaferro will hold a contest for a giveaway book bundle that consists of 4 titles from Kensington's Defeat Dafina's Authors of Color's newest release. Don't miss it. Tuesday, September 14th on Evening Words with Nick Taliaferro. Attention 4Word members. Get your copy and receive a 20% discount when you purchase at Harriet's Bookstore or Hakeem's Bookstore. For more information on the Black Words Book Club, visit wordradio.com. The Black Words Book Club is sponsored by Dafina. Dafina is an imprint of Kensington Publishing Corporation, America's independent publisher, concentrating on authors of color.
I heard the COVID-19 vaccine
And
has
the thing I heard about the vaccine.
Sure, but do we really know about the long-term effects?
Did you read that thing on the internet?
He
about
heard
that?
from his cousin that they don't.
Okay, you're hearing a lot of talk about the COVID-19 vaccines these days. So how do you find out if getting vaccinated is right for you? By talking to someone you already trust, your doctor or healthcare provider. They'll answer your questions so you can decide what's best for you and your family. Go to getvaccineanswers.org to find out more. That's getvaccineanswers.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Be there this Friday at the Summer Freedom Neighborhood Love Tour and stand with Word Radio to amplify voices of the Black community as a digital 4Word member for as low as $5 per month. And receive a free gift for signing up. See you on Friday and join Tiffany Bacon, 10 a.m. till noon at the Martin Luther King Recreation Center, 2101 Cecil B. Moore Avenue. Or visit wordradio.com. Start or renew your 4Word membership today. This is Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD Philadelphia. Streaming live on wordradio.com, the Word Radio app, or watch live on Word TV via Facebook and YouTube. Word Radio, independent Black media. Grab your mic. It's time for Kayla J's Karaoke Song of the Day.
What you want, baby, I got it. What you need, you know I got it. All I'm asking is for a little respect, just a little bit, baby, just a little bit. Just a little bit, mister, just a little bit. I ain't gonna do you wrong while you're gone. I ain't gonna do you wrong, 'cause I don't wanna. All I'm asking is for a little respect, just a little bit, baby, just a little bit. Just a little bit, just a little bit. I'm about to give it all my money. And all I'm asking in return, honey, is to give me my promise when you get home. Just a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit. Ooh, you can't say it's sweeter than honey. And guess what? So is my money. All I want you to do for me is give it to me when you get ready. You are back listening to Safe Space on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, 96.1 FM, 900 AM. I'm your host, Sincerely Syreeta. In case you may not have picked up on it, we're playing the Queen of Soul all night tonight. Shout out to Kayla J. Because Respect, the movie, the biopic, drops or has dropped at this point, because we're already getting reports that folks are attending screenings and, you know, got their tickets and all that kind of stuff. So again, y'all, for the majority of the population that does not really appreciate spoilers, just try to keep that in mind. I'm going to see it regardless. So if you want to slide in my DMs and let me know your thoughts on it, feel free to. But yeah, we looking forward to that. So, you know, just our way of paying homage and you know, getting our vibes right for the biopic. We're playing Aretha Franklin all throughout the show. Anywho, it's about time for us to welcome our first guest of the evening. And so the top of this week,
which y'all know is my first week back following mom's brain surgery, all of that stuff. One of the things I expressed was that, I wanted to make sure we use this platform, specifically Safe Space, to really provide as many resources or information as possible when it comes to caregiving, or non-medical in-home care services or assisted living, that kind of stuff. Because having been in this role, this isn't necessarily my first time taking care of my mom after some kind of surgery, but this is, I would say, like the major surgery, at least that I know of in the course of my lifetime, that she has had. And it's a different level, especially being an adult child of hers. It's a different level of taking care of your parents and advocating for them and making sure that you loving on them how they were loving on you, right? And entrusting other people to do their jobs and do their jobs right. And there have certainly been times where I know I had to use my voice when she was still in the hospital, and speak up and ask the questions, even if I saw them, being visibly annoyed or frustrated or, trying to, well, it's just this, it's not da 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 da. And I'm like, but you still have to help me understand, right? I'm not just taking your word for anything. I need to understand what the steps are, what the contingency plans are, the backup plans are, right? Like I need a full 360 view of what we're dealing with here. And it was one thing to be at the hospital and have a nursing staff and, doctors who were there 24/7, supporting her and even in that way me. But it was very different, when you get home and it's just you and your loved one and you have to figure this thing out, right? Whether it's the administration of medication, eating schedules, getting their body moving, making sure they're not, laying around too much and stuff, and just following the doctor's orders and regimens, and also, just keeping their spirits up and keeping them entertained and hopefully able, to enjoy, even this point of the healing journey. So it's a lot that comes with that. And it's very different, at least for me, it was a different level of responsibility that came with that. And so I'm really thankful that we can welcome Bryant Green, an administrator at Always Best Care Senior Services, to join us and hopefully, just provide some insight and education on non-medical in-home care and assisted living referral services, so that, we're a little more equipped with how we can best navigate these situations if or when or should they happen. So with that said, Bryant, thank you so much for being able to save space with us today. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I am at the Dell partying. It was hotter than fish grease out here, but I am so happy to be invited back onto your show to talk about my passion. It's a labor of love, to be completely honest. I am the owner and operator of Always Best Care in Philly and Delaware, as you know. Mm-hmm. And we are in Pennsylvania, we do non-medical and skilled services. So that means we do anything from light meal preparation, light housekeeping, bathing, grooming, dressing, incontinence care. And people that don't know what incontinence care, that means changing an adult diaper. Mm-hmm. We do physical, occupational, and speech therapy, wound care, nursing. And we do companion care, which is basically sitting home with a loved one. And we service anybody that's 18 and over, but the strongest, I guess, the most volume patient census we have are people that are over 60. Okay. And we do our best. We do our best to meet the need of the family and the people.
Got you. I'm curious to know what sparked, and for those of us who may not be familiar with you, with Always Best Care, what sparked your passion for this work?
It's interesting. I was sitting here listening to you. I reflect on how I got started. About 12 years ago, I got laid off from my last corporate America job, the multimedia giant. through no fault of my own. And it was at the time of the outro of Bush and the intro of Obama. I always tell people that I lost my job, my corporate job, with the corner office, pre-cable, corner, with TV in the office, all that kind of thing. Lost that job under the Bush administration. And in the Obama administration, I found the courage to start a Always Best Care franchise. And so it was very scary, to be honest with you, because at that time, the economy was really bad. What forced me into it was I remember being invited to a career fair / Springster party, and the only person that would talk to me was somebody that was selling franchises. And I thought, well, what I could give you the long version, but the short version was, I just said, listen, let me hear what you got to say, because you don't want to hear all these hundreds of employers that are talking to me. And the business that he introduced me to that touched me personally was home care. One, because I come from a very large family on both sides of the family, and because my mother started as a teenager, I had the benefit and the blessing of having both sets of grandparents, and for a very long time, both great-grandmothers. And so when I was born, both of my grandmothers were still working, and one of them was a nurse, right? And so I remember very clearly growing up that peer group, as a family having to come together to take grandmom shopping, cut her grass, make sure her meals and her medicine, her prescriptions were filled. As a kid, just watching that, I understood what it meant when a family, even though you got a large family, you still need help, because everybody's still working, right? Yeah. And you put it great when you said, you had to figure it out. And so I understood the business that way. What was the learning curve was people have to trust you. People have to know that you really are committed. Yeah. So that was how I got started. I've been in business 11 years now.
Wow. And congratulations on that, because that's certainly no easy feat, launching a business in the economic environment that was happening at that time, and being able to sustain now for 11 years and counting. And it is there. There's a lot that goes into being a caregiver, not just in taking care of the person, but also taking care of yourself. But one of the things that instantly, for me, once we got home, it was like, okay, I need to sit down and create, I called it a home healthcare plan. Like we need to have, a daily schedule and what time everybody needs to be aware of medications and all of these other things. And so in thinking about Always Best Care and the services that you all offer, they're so important, because if you don't have that kind of support, those are things that you typically would have to do on your own, or you or your family members or your loved ones would be responsible for doing. I'm curious to know what has been some of the feedback, from the clients, from the patients that you've served, specifically the caregivers who have enlisted your services and support. What has that feedback been like for them to have in-home care support from Always Best Care?
Well, when I think about that, I had to first say that there is a national caregiver shortage, right? And so people will enlist the services like Always Best Care or a competitor or that kind of thing on average from 4 to 6 hours a day. Sometimes longer, but most of the time that's the average, right? So you figure, like you said, you had to have a plan for those, 20 to 18 to 12 hours that you are in charge of mom, dad, grandmom, auntie, or whatever. And so the caregivers, when I first started, we were hiring more caregivers that weren't family caregivers. But as time has evolved, my census right now, probably 77% of the caregivers are in some way family or extended village to the client. The feedback, right. The feedback normally is, it's two types of people. Some people are not familiar with home care at all. They've resisted it in some way and found themselves having to make a reactive decision to it from something that has catastrophically, or something that scared them, to say, okay, I really finally got to do it. And then you have those folks that have had home care and probably have gone through maybe multiple agencies before they found the caregiver or, somebody that blends. So there's behind the scenes, when it's not a family caregiver, and sometimes even with a family caregiver, there's a matchmaking process. What does that mean? You don't want to put Chatty Cathy in a room with somebody that's not that's a quiet person, right. And vice versa. You don't want to put somebody that smokes with a non-smoker. You don't want to match up somebody that has pets and somebody's allergic to pets. So you have all that going on. But with the family, sometimes we find ourselves in situations hiring a family where there's a person that can't work nowhere else. So we have to go through that soft skills training. And so the feedback that we've been getting is, in a lot of ways, thank you. Especially with right now, with COVID and the climate that we're in now, I just want to thank all the caregivers, whether you work for me or not. I want to say thank you for those that are continually showing up. Because there is, as with most workforces, whether you go to the supermarket, Walmart, Amazon, wherever you go, bank even, there are multiple employers hiring. And so we find ourselves in competition for the workforce with people that are outside of home care. But to answer your question again, people, when the home care works out, people are really, really, really grateful. It's fun to see the apprehension between the intergenerational gap of maybe somebody that's older that doesn't want a younger person. I always give this example. We always tell our caregivers, especially if they're taking care of a retired clinician, nurse, or somebody like that, hey, listen, 50 years ago, 40 years ago, you were not allowed to have as a nurse, you were not allowed to have long fingernails, multiple colored hair, no excessive jewelry, no earrings, no ear posts, and you had to have your hair pinned up. So when you take care, we have a young person going in to take care of somebody that's older, and they have the long fingernails, the long eyelashes, and they tick quickly with the gum and the phone and all that kind of thing. We got to get past that. But it's always fun when somebody says, I don't want a young person. I don't want a young person. You say, listen, Miss Essie, we got somebody that's give them a chance. It probably reminds you of somebody in your family. And after a week or two, a month, you see that relationship just blossom, and the relationship, the intergenerational vibe, where there's an exchange. Maybe the younger person is showing the older person how to do Facebook or Instagram. And then you have the older person talking about hospital corners and how to make up the bed. And, just a rejuvenation of the vibe of passing and sharing intergenerational information. So for that gives me the juice. I love when we have success stories. A lot of times I would be lying to you if I'm going to, sometimes we don't get to a success right away. So we just have to be consistent.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the word that keeps coming to me is village. That's what, when we're talking about home care or in-home care and assisted living, all of these different aspects of it, it's the village in a lot of ways doing what we've always done. We're just doing it in a different structure and kind of more professional business setting. But nonetheless, in listening to you, hearing that those connections or that connection is still happening. The bridges are still being built and obtained or upheld in the course of all of this. And that is definitely heartwarming. I know, like, even with my mom, and I, my daughter's also here. I have a 16-year-old daughter and soon to be 13-year-old daughter. And it's been all hands on deck. For a while there, we had shifts because we didn't want mom alone at any time. And so, even at night, there was an overnight shift, and then there was this shift and that shift, and I'm cooking and they're cleaning and somebody's watching her and helping her and all of these other things. It really was a family effort, and it was very much intergenerational. So I'm so glad you spoke to that. You also mentioned the pandemic, and loves, if you're just tuning in, I'm chatting with Bryant Green, who is an administrator at Always Best Care Senior Services. Bryant, you touched on the pandemic. How did the pandemic impact the home health care or in-home care industry, and specifically, if there's any difference or impact that you saw in your business, what was that? And how did you navigate it?
Well, we became the purveyor of information from the CDC, OSHA, EEOC, the Department of Health. Luckily for us, a lot of our caregivers live with the clients, but then we still have clients that need care outside of the family. So juggling that was for right now, even with the resurgence of COVID, and a lot of people still hesitant, a lot of vaccination hesitancy has been a real trying time. In fact, for my back office, I just made it mandatory that everybody has to get vaccinated. We're going to start slowly but surely. We're getting all the caregivers to get vaccinated. That's what we're dealing with. But to answer your question, when the pandemic first got here, it was very scary. We had a lot of people that we had to convince to continue to get care. We had to, like most people, we had to go out and scout and barter and trade for PPE. That was a trip. You had to get a hustle man to get you some paper towels and some toilet tissue. And once we got past that, really just giving information and really just staying close to the latest and protocol and mask, and just really allowing people to be frightened if they were frightened. You can really see who was good in a crisis. Everybody's not good in a crisis, and we have to recognize that. We're open 24/7, so a lot of times people call and just want to know what's going on. So we passed a lot of information. We've connected a lot of people to different websites. Right now, we find ourselves really insisting that people get vaccinated and really take the protocol of PPE when in close quarters. I can tell you that there's in some instances there's a lot of resistance, and it's not so much a race or class or church and state thing, so much as some people really just are frightened for their own way. I remember about 8 months ago when they first approached me with the vaccine, I told my daughter, who's an adult, I said, listen, if daddy's ear fall off, I turn into a zombie, just make sure that somebody take care of my animal. But I had to, as a leader, as a community leader and influencer, I had to take a deep breath and say, you know what? This vaccine is out here, and they're starting with healthcare professionals. If it was a hoax or if it was unsafe, then you have to look at it this way. Then we would really be hurting ourselves by giving the vaccine to the frontline workers who really are out there every day. So, catastrophically, I always tell people, look, you either mask it or you can look for a casket. Because you really, when you think about driving, you wear a seatbelt. When you're riding a motorcycle, put on a helmet. If you decide to smoke cigarettes, then you know that you're at risk for some type of cancer. So, with the science, you have to really just follow the science. And a lot of people have taken a little piece of information and turned it around. So, for us, we find ourselves deciphering the disinformation that's out there and really connecting people to credible resources and really standing firm to that. But I'm turning down business, really. Just like we go to a restaurant, you have to wait. And you have to wait for it to be seated because a lot of these restaurants out here don't have a lot of staff. Home care, unfortunately, is the same thing. We're dying for staff. We are on our hands and knees begging for people to come out there and work. And we pay what we can because the Medicaid rates have only been increased twice in the last 28 years. So we try to pay as much as we can, but we are, again, competing with Amazon, Walmart, ShopRite. We're competing with other lines of business for workforce, and you really have to like caregiving. It's not the kind of a thing that you can do and get rich on. So that has been the biggest challenge, and especially for the people that live in remote areas where SEPTA is not, a lot of our caregivers do travel on mass transit. Some of them have cars, but, depending on where you live at, parking might not be a reasonable situation. So we have been Ubering people to work. We have been carpooling. We have been doing a lot of creative things. We have been trying to really staff people within their own zip code so they don't have far to travel. Because it's a lot of things swirling around with this COVID thing.
Yeah. How do you take care of yourself, Bryant?
I really, as you know, I own a rescue farm. And part of my work-life balance is I go out and I zen with the animals. I rescue horses, donkeys, and ponies, and I raise alpacas, sheep, and goats. I have cats and dogs. My happy place is going out and really sometimes just hanging with animals because sometimes people wear me out. I need to decompress and rejuvenate. People sometimes can be really mean. And as an administrator, I found myself trying to be the coach, not the warden. So when I get worn down, I have to go home and I just zen. I sit in a quiet room. I watch TV. I I go out with the animals. I don't ride that much, but I go out and I have a lot of pasture pets. And I just really just find things, little things. And every now and again, I'll cook a small meal for me, maybe my grandmother, because I am responsible for my grandmother, who ain't no joke. You got to talk to your mother. Listen, my grandmother is a retired nurse after 50 years. And she listens to my show. Her and my mother listen to my show on Saturdays. But they always listen. If they don't like something they hear, they listen. Let me say something. Their bodies are not as sharp as their mind. Their mind is super sharp, but their bodies is not. So we barter that.
Got you. Well, listen, if there are folks who may be interested in learning more about how they can become a caregiver, they're looking for an opportunity to work. What's the best way for them to contact you or contact Always Best Care and inquire about any job opportunities?
Well, I'd like to tell you that we're open 24/7. We are the agency that never sleeps. They can call at 267-909-9248, or you can visit teamgreenabc.com, and we have a list of positions. Right now, we're looking for second shift schedulers, which is from 2:30 to 11, and we're looking for caregivers in the counties from Delaware County, Montgomery County, and Bucks County. Of course, Philadelphia all the time. But we're having a hard time finding caregivers that don't mind driving out to the different counties where SEPTA is not as, fluid.
Got you. And last but not least, any encouraging words for family caregivers?
Yes. Maintain your work-life balance. Remember to take care of yourself. A lot of times when you take, especially for my family caregivers, sometimes you crash and burn trying to do everything. And, people think that when you are providing care, oftentimes people are receptive to it. A lot of times people are not, because they're resentful of the fact they can't do simple things for themselves. So you're met with a lot of adversity. I tell people that, you should look into a lot of the faith-based groups or the caregiver support groups, especially if you're taking care of somebody with Alzheimer's or dementia. You can go to the alz.org as a resource. It's a not-for-profit. And really just get a lot of information on caregiver support. And sometimes it helps to talk to people. Because a lot of times caregivers go through a mental health situation where they start to feel guilty when they've fallen. But, it's hard to keep your hands on the wheel at 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock. When you're working, you got kids, and you got to take care of your parents. And really sometimes, there's a lot of times, it's an unexpected event that has happened that has changed everybody's world. And you're blessed if you're like you, that you have kids that can step in and help. But there are so many people with multiple siblings and family on the outskirts that don't help. So I just tell them, take deep breaths and pace yourself. Drink plenty of water in this heat.
Remember to breathe, y'all. Remember to breathe. All right. We've just spoken with Bryant Green, Administrator for Always Best Care Services, or Senior Services, excuse me. I have dropped the links that he mentioned in our Word TV Facebook live stream. Again, it's Team, Team, Team Green, GREENE, ABC.com. That's Team Green, and Green is spelled GREENE, ABC.com. Make sure you head over there for job opportunities, or even if you may be in need of support services. Check out what they have to offer. Bryant listed a bunch of them earlier on in our conversation, but just in case you may have missed that, you can find the full list there. And then also make sure you check out WURD Works, wordworks.com. That is tied to our livelihood initiative. And if you are in the market for a new job, or you're an employer who is hiring, you can use our job portal in both instances. And hopefully we can play matchmaker, right? And get you all connected and make sure that across the board, we're working together to improve livelihoods in our community. I'm going to go ahead, take this quick break. When we come back on the other side, I'll be welcoming my final guest of the evening and one of my favorite people, Brittany Mingo, who is one of the newest ambassadors for FBF Body. It's a shapewear and athleisure brand. It's been featured on Good Morning America, The View, Forbes, Black Enterprise, and more. I can't wait to get caught up on her journey and to also do a bit of reflecting on this here Throwback Thursday. Because long before I was doing radio, I was doing some other stuff, one of which was blogging. and had the opportunity to interview Brittany then. And I went back to that campaign that I did on my blog and read her submission. And it was powerful then, and it's powerful now. And to see the growth, the evolution of not only her life, but her health, her wellness, all of that and more. Really, I'm sure she would say it's nothing but God, but we'll hear from her in just a sec. So make sure you stay tuned to WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. This is Safe Space. I'm your host, Sincerely Syreeta. We're coming up on 8:30, and we'll be back after these messages.
Word Radio Digital Tip of the Month with Stephanie Humphrey. Brought to you by Comcast.
You might be enjoying the hot days of summer, but your smartphone probably isn't. Hotter temperatures can potentially damage your phone, so here are some things you can do to keep it cool. Don't leave your phone in direct sunlight or locked in a car if possible. And if you don't absolutely need it, ditch the smartphone case too. That can easily trap heat. Change the settings to lower the brightness, turn off data, put your phone in airplane mode, or try to do less high-powered activities like gaming. If you do notice your smartphone overheating, turn it off and take out the battery if you can. And don't try to cool it down by putting it in a refrigerator or freezer. Just keep your phone in a cool area for a while until it returns to room temperature. Stay cool, stay tuned to WURD for more tips, and stay connected with us at wordradio.com.
Hey, Philly, unless you're planning on enjoying summer vibes in the same sweatpants you wore for the past year, it's time to change things up. That's right. That Philly summer feeling is almost here. The city is ready, and so are all the shops, restaurants, and museums you've been missing. Get vaxxed, get dressed, and get back to all the things you love about Philadelphia. Go to ReadySetPhilly.com today to plan your triumphant return.
Want the latest in word swag? Check out the shop tab on wordradio.com. Hoodies, tees, and more in a variety of colors. The shop tab on wordradio.com. Show the world that you're all about black. Talk media.
You're never completely ready to adopt a teen.
For late nights writing English papers.
For your teen's music taste.
For dinners where they talk more on their phone than with you.
For the first time, they call you mom.
You're never completely ready to adopt a teen, and you can't imagine the reward.
To learn more about adopting a teen, visit adoptuskids.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Tune in every Saturday at 6 p.m. to Recovery Talk 101 with your host, Rick Ford, talking about addiction, treatment, and recovery, right here on Word Radio. Save Space with Sincerely Syreeta. Sincerely Syreeta. Right now on Word Radio. 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD. Independent Black Media.
To Safe Space on WURD Radio, Progressive Black Talk Media, 96.1 FM, 900 AM. I'm your host, Sincerely Syreeta. And real quick, just want to remind you again, in case you may have missed it, that we are in the midst of the Summer of Freedom Neighborhood Love Tour. Shout out to Tiffany Bacon. She's been broadcasting live from a different neighborhood each Friday from 10 a.m. to noon. This year, we've been celebrating West Oakland, Mantua, Northwest, and South Philly. Our next stop is North Philly tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow from 10 a.m. to noon, we will be at the MLK Recreation Center at 21st and Cecil B. Moore. Again, that's the Martin Luther King Jr. Recreation Center at 2101 Cecil B. Moore Avenue. You'll be able to pick up some voter registration information, meet some special guests, start or renew your Forward membership, especially your digital Forward membership, which starts off at $5. And, just have a good time with the folks. So if you're free, definitely come down, join us, have a good time. Y'all know I'm here with Mom, but shout out to all of the Word team that's been, showing up on site and behind the scenes to help make the Summer of Freedom Neighborhood Love Tour possible. Okay, so just wanted to make sure I reminded you all of that, and I will do it again before the show is over. Okay, because this is happening tomorrow, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. So we need you ready for that. But it's time to welcome my final guest of the evening. I told y'all a little earlier, one of my favorite Black woman-owned businesses just selected one of my favorite people to be a representative of their brand. Shout out to FBF Body, which is a shapewear and athleisure brand featured on Good Morning America, The View, Forbes, Black Enterprise, and much more. Brittany Mingo, aka Mingo, is now an ambassador for FBF Body. And I'm hyped on, okay, all the way. Super excited when I saw the news this morning and, reposted it on my stories and then hit her up and was like, yes, so what you doing tonight at 8:30? Because we need to come on. We need to celebrate. We need to, document this moment in her journey because she was courageous enough, gracious enough to let us into her story some time ago. And really, for me, it started even before WURD. But I know WURD was definitely a place where when she made a real milestone decision in her health and wellness, she came and she just kept it 100 with us about why she made her decision and then continued to keep us updated. And I think that's just a beautiful thing when you can go through an experience and pass along, all of your insight and knowledge and wisdom and information. And Brittany has always been willing to do that for the Word fam. And I think that's dope. So Mingo, hey, boo.
Hey.
Congratulations.
Hey, Rita, how are you? Thank you.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm actually having a really good day. I'm doing well.
I'm glad to hear that. So let's start here for folks who may just be meeting you for the first time. Just let them know a little bit about whatever you want them to know about who you are and what you do.
Well, I am Brittany Mingo. I go by Mingo. I am a Philadelphia native. I am, a woman of God. I'm going to say that, Rita. I'm a woman of God.
Mm-hmm.
I work for a charter school as a college advisor. And recently, since July 2020, I've been on a consistent weight loss journey with the assistance of the gastric sleeve. And since July 2020, a lot has changed for me.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think the last time we had you on the show. The first time we had you on, I believe it was either right before or not long after you had this. No, it was before you had surgery, I think.
Yeah, I was on the day before I had the surgery.
Yeah.
And then I came on months later.
Yeah. And so where are you at now with that process? Whether it's, weight loss, whether it's lifestyle changes, what all has kind of transpired in the past year?
So far, as far as numerically, I've lost 159 pounds. And I know it's crazy, the whole person. 159 pounds. Not only just physical weight, but a lot of emotional weight has been dropped for me. I expected it to be solely like a physical journey. However, I've shed a lot of weight emotionally and spiritually that I did not realize coming into this journey that I was holding on to. I bought a house in December. I have let go of some like relationships, but I've also like strengthened and gained relationships. I have gotten closer to God. I have really learned myself for, this new season of me over the course of a little over a year. So it's been a really crazy ride.
Yeah, I was about to say it almost. Congratulations on everything, first of all, but also it almost sounds like you are living a whole nother lifetime.
I know,
and which is exciting. I think it's that's the beauty of being a human, is that we can reinvent ourselves, we can start over, we can pick back up where we left off, whatever it is that our hearts and minds can put all of our energy to. We can actually do that, and within a year, you've literally transformed not only your physical but your mental, emotional, and spiritual. And I know not just on your own, but definitely God doing what God be doing. I was, it's Throwback Thursday, and so I was trying to, before I had DM'd you, like, what's the best email? I was trying to find your email, and then eventually came across your "and that's okay" submission. And
that's so crazy. I just came across that like a week ago.
Yeah, and so Loves, prior to Word Radio and part of how I got here, I had a blog. It was sincerelysyreeta.com. And I that was where I cultivated just my love of interviewing and amplifying the stories of others. And I came up, or I should say, God gave me this thing called "And That's Okay," this campaign of sorts. And it really was just meant to be this moment or this opportunity for people to speak our truths, and say, you know what, this is what it is, right? This is what the reality is, and that's okay. That's okay, because I know that either the higher power or that I'm going to be okay, that I'm going to do what's necessary to be okay. And that's okay. That campaign led to like merchandise and like all these other things, but more importantly, what it led to were the stories that was told. And Brittany submitted her story as part of the campaign, and in that submission, Britt, you had revealed that you had this rare form of lymphoma, and you wrote about how after this intense moment with God, you got to this place of peace, and you said, and I'm going to quote here, "I immediately stopped crying and realized I have cancer, and that's okay." You went on to kick cancer's butt, went into remission, and you added later in that piece, and I'm going to quote again, "I'll do what is needed to tend to my health." And I'm curious to know how you feel today, reflecting on your journey from that point, like even before VSG, because I think that was like back in 20.
That was like, I was diagnosed in 2014, so I'm pretty sure it was 2015 when you had the campaign.
Yeah, 2015. So, or 2016. That's what it was. How's it feel to reflect on life since then? Your journey since then?
It is honestly mind blowing. It came across my feed, I think like last week, and I was like, wow, because I felt like a very different person. And I distinctly remember thinking that I wouldn't even be here. Like 2021, in 2015, 2021 didn't seem like a year that I would see, because I had not yet understood fully my diagnosis. And so I really thought that I wasn't going to make it. And I remember your campaign was the first time that I was publicly and even privately okay with saying, like, look, you have cancer. This is what you need to do. This is what your diagnosis means, and this is how you're going to have to, like, operate moving forward to make sure that you're in the best health possible. And I was very reluctant to do it. And I think that, honestly, it kind of mirrors my experience with having the weight loss surgery. The reluctance, the fear, but taking the necessary steps to make sure that I was in the best health possible. And both of those experiences, like my experience with lymphoma and just like the amazing, like, you know, the way that God really protected me and made sure that I was okay through it all. And then my experience with, you know, obesity and extreme weight loss, that same realization, like, okay, this is where I am health-wise. There's also a level of personal accountability and work that I have to do to make sure I'm in a better place. And using the, you know, the Bible says, by faith without works is dead. So having the faith of the God I serve, but also saying to myself, okay, there's a level of responsibility that you have. And then just moving forward and watching, and both of those experiences, the transformation that I had, and just the lessons that I learned.
Yeah, girl, you something. You are one of God's greatest for sure. And of course, a large part of like why tonight is happening is because you are now a brand ambassador for FBF Body, which loves, you can go to fbfbody.com and see what it's about and see that is not light work. Okay, this ain't light work. This is truly, I told you in the DMs, you celebrate. We need to celebrate this. Tell us really quickly how this opportunity to be an FBF Body ambassador came about and what it means to you.
So Zakia Blaine, the founder and creator of FBF, she has an affiliate program, which I think is amazing because if you go to her site, if you go to her social media page, she's really honestly in a place where she does not necessarily need like an affiliate to, you know, market her brand. She's very, very successful. And what I love most is that even though she doesn't have to do it, she provides other women the ability to make money through a referral system, basically representing the brand and doing a referral system and marketing it, you know, and sending people to the site to purchase items. And I just think that that's amazing because honestly, it's not something that she has to do, but after following her for so many years, it matches who she is as a person.
Absolutely.
And so every once in a while, she opens up the affiliate program and allows people to apply. And one of like my favorite parts of my weight loss journey has been wearing her sets, right? So,
and you've been wearing them, honey. You look good.
I love her sets. Like, I will wear it in the house. I will dress it up to go outside. I will wear it for a walk. It's very, very like versatile. So I love her sets. And for me, like one of the milestones, like, you know, we call them 9-scale victories, was actually being able to fit in her sets. And she is very like size inclusive, right? So she goes from like a small to a 3X.
Yeah.
But I was well beyond a 3X, honey. So I couldn't fit it initially. But I remember I purchased a set before I could fit it. And I was just like, when I get into the set, it's a wrap. And I got into the set. I purchased the purple and the black spring, summer, everyday set. And by the time I could fit that set, it wasn't even spring or summer anymore. It was literally the winter time. And I didn't care. I said, I'm going to layer it up.
Like, y'all going to get this set.
And when I put it on the first time and the second time, I realized, I said, oh, I understand why she's calling this the everyday set. You literally want to wear it every single day.
Every day. Yes.
Everything. You know how it just, and I joke around, like with my friends, I'm like, yo, like, this is literally like, you put on her set and you feel like you instantly got a tummy tuck. Like, it snatches you in the craziest ways. And I really, like, I was just like, wow. And just, like, watching her journey since, like, 2013, because you remember Kiara, Key Smalls from City Fit Girls, she had her first retreat. And Zakia was there, and she got up, and I'll never forget it. She had, like, a tennis ball cut and just so much, like, life. And she was like, my name is Zakia Blaine, and I have SBN Fat. And, you know, like, I have these T-shirts. And just over the years, she's kept that same energy, but also encouraging women to know that, like, your health journey is not always about being the optimal size, right? Like, it's not always about being a size 4. It's about being your best in that time frame, in that space that you are in life, and knowing that you're giving yourself your best. And she always says life happens here. And so, like, she's helped me feel comfortable with my body over the years, and as I've worked to attain physical health. And so I've always just admired that and enjoyed that about her, also just like her transparency. So she sent out this text that she was going to open up her affiliate program. And at first I kind of laughed. I'm like, I don't know, should I do it? Like, I don't know, I love her stuff. And honestly, at first I was just like, girl, you are not being picked to be an affiliate in her affiliate program. And so when I said that to myself, I instantly combated that, like, thought, because it was negative. And I was like, well, just try. So I sent in that application. I sent in the social media handle. And I'm just like, I mean, you know, I'm not an influencer. I don't have, like, a lot of followers or anything like that. So I'm just like, I don't know. But the next day, I literally was just going through my email, and I realized that I got sent something that said I was approved. And I was like, what? And I'm like,
take that negative thinking.
Right, here, you know me, right? Or I'm like, oh, she just approved everybody. So I'm like, she just approved everybody.
I was about to say, I can't imagine like approving everybody.
And I really don't know how many people I don't know how many people she approved, how many people she did, but I am thankful that I did get approved, because I think it's just another part of, like, my journey. And you and I talked about this. I talked to my therapist about seeing myself in a certain way. And for me, for a brand that I love, and I don't care however many drops. I say all the time, I don't care how many times she drops something, I'm gonna buy it.
I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna stick beside her.
Right.
I'm gonna be right there.
Right, I'm gonna stick beside her, right? But for a brand that I love and that I trust, not only because of the quality of their product, but because of the founder and the creator, and just her story and her transparency and her authenticity, for me to apply, and then for them to say, oh, no, we do look at you as an affiliate, that is a big milestone for me, just in the sense of this body image, right? You know, I was 431 pounds a year ago, right? And just the process and the journey of, like, losing weight, but also losing that perception of myself that I didn't really notice that I had when I was 431 pounds. And just for me, it's just kind of like, you know, it encourages me even more to continue my journey, and not just for the scale, but just for overall health. And it encourages me to encourage other people to pursue whatever health journey they have, whether it's physical, mental, spiritual, because our stories inspire other people. And I know that because her story inspired me. You know, virtually, I've honestly never had a conversation with her. I don't know her personally. But virtually, she has been such an inspiration to me. And so for someone I admire to think that whatever about me is enough to represent her brand in any type of way as an affiliate, that really meant a lot to me.
Yeah. Well, we got to get ready to get out of here. But once again, I'm always thankful for you being able to save space with us and share a bit of your story, which always leaves me inspired and just on fire to make sure that we all continue telling our stories, whether we view any milestone in it or any setback in it as being insignificant in terms of, able to impact or inspire other people. I think it precisely what you said, telling your story can inspire others. And we, whether it's virtual on social media, here on the radio, or wherever it may be, I hope no one underestimates that, especially when it comes to physical health, mental health, wellness, all of those things. So again, Brittany Mingo, congratulations to you. One of the newest FBF ambassadors. And I know I will be ready. I know Britt gonna be ready. But
so you're not gonna be ready, right? I'm going to be at work soon. And I'm gonna tell you something, at 11, every time she has a drop, about 5 minutes before, I suddenly have to go to the bathroom because I'm not.
You gotta make sure. So it loves FBFbody.com. They have the new drop, right, when they release new merchandise. That's happening tomorrow, or basically, I believe, I want to say 12 a.m., but basically tomorrow, Friday, August 13th.
It's 12 p.m. Yep.
Okay, so that's when the drop is happening, and I all I can tell you is have you the coins ready. They accept Afterpay and all of that good stuff, which is a game changer for a lot of us. But had the coins ready and your trigger finger, and by that I mean like click, 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 click on your phone or your laptop or your mouse, whatever. Have that ready to go, because literally they will sell out like that. But anyway, Brittany, appreciate you. Y'all make sure, if you're tapped in over on Instagram, make sure you follow Slim Goody Ming, SlimGoodieMing, Slim Goody Ming, so that you can stay up with the latest on Brittany Mingo's evolution of the woman that she is, that she's always been, that she's becoming, and that she will forever be, and we will forever celebrate. And with that, yeah, girl, listen, I'm here. I'm gonna stick beside it. We here. You ain't going nowhere. Anywho, yeah, we gotta get ready to get out of here though. But again, another reminder before I do so, to please make sure 10 a.m. to 12 noon, and you might have to multitask here. You might have to be at the MLK Rec Center for our Summer of Freedom Neighborhood Love Tour, hopping on the phone real quick to hit the FBFbody.com and get that latest drop or whatever. But we are celebrating West Oak Lane, Mantua, Northwest, and South Philly. So 10 a.m. to 12 noon, Tiffany Bacon is going to be at the Martin Luther King Recreation Center, 2101 Cecil B. Moore Avenue. Again, that is tomorrow, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Make sure you also are tuned in this weekend for Kayla J's Gospel Music Hour. Don't want to miss that. And much love and appreciation to her for always holding down the phone lines, the board, and everything in between. Follow Word Radio across all social media platforms, and as well as myself at Sincerely Syreeta, SYREETA, and Kayla J at KALAJ_music nerd. Up next is Keeping It Real with the Reverend Al Sharpton. So keep your dials locked to 96.1 FM, 900 AM. We're right back here on Monday, God willing, same time, same place, for another edition of Safe Space. Until then, though, y'all know the deal. Always, always remember to taste your words before you feed them to someone else, and empathize, empower, and evolve. Peace.
Who can save me? Know that you can, baby. You could, baby. We'll be riding, trying to conquer the